and we're back with another episode of the Armchair Pundits World Cup special. Gents, more games. Unfortunately, we didn't get to record a show in the middle of these fixtures, so we're literally going to rattle through all 16 ties today. And as we know, the round of 16 actually starts later on this afternoon or later on this evening. So, we'll quickly go through the fixtures that happen in the round of 32, all the key things that happened, and we'll take it from there. So, starting off, South Africa versus Canada last Sunday. Wasn't a great game. Canada scored in the 92nd minute, in fact, a goal from Eustaquio. And wasn't a great game. South Africa literally had 58% possession and had an XG of 0.13, which I don't think I've ever seen in my life. 0.13.
Is that even a shot target?
Did they even lay a glove? I don't even know. But
not at all.
Boy.
Jesse Marsh wasn't, he just been doing too much and this is not good enough. And when they played, they will struggle against Morocco because Morocco will be way too organised and will have way too much quality. But other than that, well done. It's obviously it's a first for them, right? They've never got
first time they won a knockout game.
First goal.
So,
it was a good goal as well.
It was a good goal.
That's a goal worthy of winning the game, isn't it?
Yeah, it saved us an extra 30 minutes of boredom.
Well done to Eustaquio and well done to Canada, one of the home nations or host nations. So making it through to the round of 16, where they're going to play in Morocco, as you said, James. Morocco beating the Netherlands on penalties after a 1-1 draw after extra time. A goal from Gakpo following the death or the passing of his unborn child, more miscarriage. Big goal for him. Very emotional. The players surrounding him and obviously, being there for him at that moment. But unfortunately for the Netherlands, they couldn't hold out again, switching their formation to a back five and conceding a last-minute goal from Diop from a cross, which has happened already in the tournament against Japan. So, in the end, Morocco winning on pens. What did you make of Morocco's performance, considering they're one of the dark horses of this tournament?
Well, the fact that Netherlands switched formation showed how much they respect Morocco as an outfit. But you would have thought, considering how much firepower Netherlands have, and that they scored a match in this tournament, they've put 5 past Sweden. I think that them going to 5 at the back or 3 at the back and wing backs and stuff like that, they went too defensive. Yeah. There was no need to play football like that. They could have gone out there and actually knocked the ball about. It would show that you don't feel you're confident enough to win a game going head to head with them. Why would you change formation if you were confident in the way that you were playing? I think it was a bit disappointing. It was a bit too negative.
And they put a centre back, left wing back, bro.
I don't know, man.
One of the tallest people in the team as well. Make it make sense.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Playing left wing back doesn't make sense. But I think Ronald Koeman's time is up now as Dutch manager.
Yeah, they've sacked him.
It seems like he made the same mistake against Japan, and it wasn't really a lesson learned. And that's what I don't understand. The Netherlands have enough technical ability to have kept the ball. Morocco are not known for scoring a bagload of goals. They're not known for being, they create chances, but they're not exactly the most clinical side in the tournament. So to switch to a back five when effectively you've got to this stage at 1-0, why would you change it? If you anything, you want to bring an extra midfielder on, it makes more sense because you'll stop them from being able to get access to your defense. But to basically sit back and another cross.
Yeah, I think as well, it kind of shows the fact that they went out on penalties that it was the worst kind of tactic they could have hoped for, really. Yeah, if they were just trying to be it's either, if you play like that, you're either hoping to go 0-0 and go to penalties or nick a goal and then win the game 1-0. But that's not happened because you've conceded a goal in the last minute anyway, a header, as you said, and those penalties were awful. So I don't know what you're playing for. You might as well go out to try to win the game in 90 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I look at the lineup, and I'm like, what was he trying to do in the first place? Jarrell Hato had a decent end to the season with Chelsea. Play him left back. He's a left back. He can play centre back, but he's a left back. Why are you playing Ake in the back three? And as we said, Van der Ven wing back. When I look back at their games leading up to the tournament, it was all back fours. And they did well. And he panicked. I think he got to the tournament and he panicked because that's the only reason I can think of him doing that. And listen, they got their just desserts because when you fail at that level and you panic at that level, then you're only asking for trouble. And they listen, trouble came to them because you can't be scared of Morocco because of how good they are. I don't know. I think Lamont was on a live and they were doing 11 of combined 11, and I think it came out actually when they did it was 6-5 in Morocco's favour.
That says a lot.
That says a...
It says a lot. No, but when you deep it, we actually looked properly. It probably is about fair because they've got the better goalkeeper. They've got the better fullbacks. Midfield is a bit different. Wingers, right wing. So, I don't know. I think when you look at it, the result of a draw was probably fair. But I think if they had gone with a proper lineup and not been scared, then it could have been a win for them.
Well, as they say, the fortune favours the brave. And on this occasion, it was Morocco who pulled through. So, on to the next set of fixtures. France beating Sweden 3-0. Another masterclass from France. Another 2 assists from Elise. That takes him to 5, the most in the tournament since 1994. What do you make of France's performance and Mr. Mbappe on the score sheet again? 6 goals in the tournament now.
That was an absolute beating, man. Sweden had no place on that pitch. They showed it, man. They weren't up for it. They didn't even lay a glove on France. France had their way with them, really, and it could have been more. They blitzed them. Elise is quality. I know we're going to be with a lot of the plaudits to go into Messi, Mbappe, Haaland for all of the goals they're scoring. Fair play. But as an overall, I said it before that Elise has impressed me the most in this tournament. He's creating a lot of chances. He's making things happen. Either whether he's playing on the wing or he's playing as Zen, he's causing problems for a lot of teams. And I've been very impressed by him. We know his quality and stuff like that, but just his versatility. But also, France have just shown that they mean business.
Yeah, they really do.
They had 12 shots on target. They had 12 shots on target in that game. 25 shots in total.
Since 1966, apparently.
Yeah, bro. Like,
mad.
Let's be real. Over the last 12, 18 months, Sweden have been horrific. They should not have got to the World Cup if it wasn't for the Nations League. Because of the Nations League, they got the playoffs and then they managed to get through the playoffs. But they've been awful. So I didn't expect anything from them. So listen, going home early, thank you. Isak has had a little preseason. He looked good until that game. And surprisingly, your boy as well, Joker has actually looked decent as well.
He did.
So I guess what they can take from it is new manager who came in late last year and then move on to the next one because this was not it for them. Nowhere near. And our favourites, you and I both went for favourites, Bevan. Yeah. I don't see anyone stopping them from getting them to the finals. France, they've got too much firepower to the point where Doué's been dropped for Barcola. Like, who would have thought that would actually happen at this stage of the season? Tournament.
But they can afford to do it.
He's my young player of the tournament as well. But Barcola's come on and he's done a thing, and that's the thing we know about Barcola. He's got so much pace, and he's so direct. It's just when he gets in the final third, whether he's going to have a good day or bad day, you just don't know. But you have to give him credit. He's made a difference in the games that he's come on, and now he's pushing for the starting role. So fair play to him, and fair play to France. They'll go on to play Paraguay, who surprisingly,
who's going to be top goal scorer? Say it. Let's do it now. Mbappe or Messi? Who's going to get it?
I already said Messi. Sorry, I already said Mbappe at the beginning of the tournament.
Now we're in the tournament. and you've seen the
No,
players play,
I think Mbappe still, man.
Mbappe still.
I'm going to stick, man. Sticking with Mbappe. I'm not going to twist.
Yeah, I had Mbappe as well.
Yeah.
Bro, the way that France are going on, obviously we'll talk about it in a minute, but they've got the ability to score goals at will. And we've seen Mbappe, even on an off day, he's capable of scoring. And with this team, the amount of chances they create, it's
3 a game
going to
so
be
far. 3 goals a game in every game.
I wouldn't even put it past Mbappe beating Messi for the record in this tournament. I wouldn't even put it past him.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Could he whistle? Could he beat just Fontaine's record?
What, of 13 in one tournament?
Yeah.
Possibly. That's a tall order because he's only got 6 so far. So, we've seen him score a hat-trick in a final, but I don't know. I can't see that happening necessarily, but it'll be tough because I think Fontaine scored I don't know how many in one match, which is how we ended up with 13. It was ridiculous to scoreline that France won back in the day. But no, they'll go on to play Paraguay, as I said, who beat Germany on penalties. Germany, again, dropping the ball, not for the first time. I think they've been knocked out in I think it's the first time they've ever been knocked out in a World Cup penalty shootout. So it's their first defeat. They've had, I think, 4 prior to this tournament. They had 4 and won all of them. Paraguay declared their day a national holiday after the result. So it shows how big a victory that was for them.
Yeah, man.
And you have to give them credit. They hung in there. They took the lead. And, once a team like Paraguay takes the lead, what are they going to do? Sit back and defend.
Yeah.
They did. I think they got away with one, though, because I think what was considered to be a foul was very soft. Or the only thing we can say is because they are consistent with that soft foul, because we're going to talk about a later game when another soft foul happens, which is probably even worse than what happened in this game.
I didn't think it was a foul on the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper had a chance to recover as well. That's what made it obvious.
But the keeper tries to bounce the player, and the player just stands his ground.
Yeah.
And then they give a foul for that. What's he supposed to do? Move out of the way? You could have it.
No, not only that, he got back into position.
It's
not like he was on the floor when it went in. He got back and it was set, pretty much.
Yeah. I think that was bad. But Germany haven't been good. I think defensively there's been gaps, and in attack there's just not been enough fluidity. A lot of players, as I said, there's a lot of players in that team that just haven't turned up for the World Cup. They tried to play Undav from the beginning, but if you don't feed strikers, then there's no point in who you're going to play up front. They're not going to get stuff out of absolutely nothing. And they were feeding on the scraps, man. There was a lot of disappointment from the attacking players, the ones that you think would be able to give their strikers chances to score goals.
Yeah, I think they're a young team, and they're early in their development of this young team. So it's not a big surprise that they lost, because they're still trying to find themselves. They started the tournament with Wirtz and Musiala in the team. Can they both coexist? Maybe not. We may find out, because obviously it looks like Klopp is taking over, because he lost his job, Nagelsmann. But they just didn't look right throughout the tournament. After the 7-1, which a lot of teams probably could have got in that, the defense didn't look right, as you've said, and they're up top and wide. It just didn't flow as it should do. But again, they're relatively young. Pavlovic is young, Nemetch is young, Undav is relatively young and inexperienced, Wirtz is young, Musiala's young, Brown is young. So they've got a good future.
They have got a good future, but I think that even Sane, I'd expect more from Sane. And he just didn't show it.
But this is one of the things about Sane that other managers, I mean, there's times where he hasn't been picked because of his inconsistency. We know how good he is. When on his day, he is a world beater. But how often do we say about Sane that he disappears at times? And I think this is one of those times. I think I did see something, I think Fabian Herzler was talking about that Germany team and the way it's made up. And he said that they're playing players based on their name rather than playing the best play or certain players in their right positions. So, for instance, Kimmich should not be playing as a fullback anymore. He should be in the centre of midfield because, one, he doesn't have the pace to deal with anyone that has pace on that side. And he doesn't get the protection he needs because he's got someone like a Sane who's out wide who doesn't track back and help. So he's going to be exposed. So he was basically saying that, you know, they tried to, rather than playing with the right chemistry, they tried to go with the names, and Havertz, Wirtz, Musiala, they all like to operate in the same areas of the pitch going forward, and that's why it hasn't really worked out. Oh well, good for Paraguay. Probably their biggest ever victory in the World Cup, although it was on pens, as it was extremely important to them, and they go on to play France, which will be a very daunting task. That's happening later tonight. Any chance of Paraguay producing a spoiler, even getting it to extra time? What's your thoughts?
Bro, Paraguay generated the second lowest XG of all 48 nations in the group stage. And guess who had the highest? So I don't think they've got a chance whatsoever.
Bro, their only hope is to stink it out for 2 hours, and that's it. Hope that they can get a free kick and score from a free kick. That's their only hope. I can't see them do anything else like that. It's going to be
Fair
pop
play.
bus.
All right. Well, on to the next fixtures. Ivory Coast losing to Norway 2-1. Brilliant goal from Antonio Nusa, who James mentioned before as being a threat going into this game. And Haaland, a little bit of a lucky finish, but you got to be in the right place at the right time. And let's be honest, he didn't mean to hit it like that, but he lucky, he scuffed it and it still went in. A brilliant solo goal from Diallo. It had, produced an equaliser for Ivory Coast, but it's Norway who progress, and for them, a big win, their first knockout win since '98. Ivory Coast is actually their best ever performance in the World Cup, and they never got to the knockout rounds before.
Yeah.
What did you make of the game, and what did you make of Ivory Coast? Because if you looked at the game, you would have felt like they had a big chance to win, especially as Norway pretty much played on the counter-attack in that second half.
I think it's that there wasn't enough in attack for Ivory Coast. They were it's that close. There's a ball into the box and the striker's not on the end of it. There's chances that they have that are missed. I think before Norway score, they have a chance to make it 2-1, and they don't. And at this level, if you don't take your chances and you're playing against a team like Norway with a striker like Haaland, who is an assassin, then you're going to pay for it in the end. And all it takes is one lapse of concentration, and you pay the price. I think that they gave as good as they got. And when you look at Norway's first goal, that's a moment of brilliance.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he comes inside, he's 1-on-1 with Pepe. He sells Pepe the dummy and then he bins it. And I think that was the difference overall, is that quality in the final third.
Yeah.
That's why I think if you're Ivory Coast, you'll be a bit disappointed. If a player makes the one extra run, then we're talking about maybe going 2-1 up instead of going 2-1 down.
If Haaland was Ivorian, they win that game easily. It's as simple as that. But in fact, instead they got Bonny. And Bonny just not ready. He spent a lot of the season on the bench for Inter Milan and switched late to Ivory Coast. And they've got really good wide players. They don't have a finisher. They don't have a finisher, and
they missed Didier, man. They missed Didier.
They do.
Yeah, bro. If they had a Didier, oh my word, they win that game.
It's hard man to replace.
I think the worst thing is their biggest threat on goal is Frank Kessié. And when your biggest threat on goal is Frank Kessié, you're in trouble, man. Like, you can get all the crosses you want from Diomande and Pepe, because to be honest, they both played well. First half, they were both really good. Got good crosses in, beat their defenders time and time again. But it was just like, okay, then this is going into a black hole because there's no one there to do anything with it. So, I don't know.
Then, do you also think that's partly tactics? Because we talked a lot about Diomande, but he hasn't actually produced a goal or assist in this tournament.
He got 2 assists.
He got 2 assists. Was that in the game? Oh, was the game they won?
He didn't have a shot on target. Was the issue?
Okay.
He never shot on target in the tournament.
Okay.
That was the big stat that came out of it.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Well, Norway will go on to play Brazil, which will be a repeat of their World Cup 98 fixture, where Norway had beaten Brazil 2-1. But this time, Brazil, that was in a group stage. This will be in a knockout phase. Brazil beating Japan 2-1 with a last-minute goal from Bevan's favourite Arsenal player, Gabriel Martinelli.
Second favourite.
I mean, to be fair, it was a brilliant finish.
What a finish. But the mistake Japan make, they gave them the ball. You can't do that against a team like Brazil. You can't give the ball away. Don't give away 3 goals. Cheap goals like that. You can't lose your head like that. And you get punished. That's what happened. When Japan scored their goal.
Brilliant goal they scored. Their first goal from Sano. It was a great strike. And you felt like Japan could have caused more problems had they been a little more industrious going forward after they scored. And what did we say again? It's the same thing that they had against Netherlands when they drew 2-2. They allow teams back in the game. And that's what they've done with Brazil. And Casemiro stepping up as per usual, a header.
He had to step up though, because in the first half, he lost Sano for the goal.
Yeah.
Their midfield, Brazil's midfield at times is too easy to play against. The only thing I can say is, okay, no, they're playing against Norway next to a bit more mobile midfield. They could be in trouble.
start Casemiro?
No.
I don't think he should start, no. I
don't think so.
It'd be interesting to see what he does against Norway, because they're going to have people in midfield that are a bit more athletic and a bit more mobile, and they can run.
Yeah. I mean, they got Sander who runs all day.
Right. If they're going to play against runners, they played against Japan, and Japan just outran them for a little bit. The only problem is that Japan got to, I don't know if they got nervous or they just retreated.
They do. They retreat.
I was about to say something that I'm not. they pooped the bed, man.
They just don't have the quality, Japan. They're industrious. Let's just put it that way. They're very industrious, and they work like in packs. Like everything moves around. And okay, the goal was a bit of a wonder goal, but you're not going to see loads of those kind of things. Like the pass from Guimaraes, really good. Really good pass. And as you said already, really good finish. But when you look at it, the stats-wise, they battered them, really and truly. 19 shots, 7 on target, 69% possession. So it would have been a massive shock and a big upset if they'd been able to win that game, Japan. But as bad as it sounds, we all want to see Brazil get through to these stages.
Let's be honest. We do.
Do well. So, unfortunate, Japan.
It was unfortunate, but it's also the third straight time they've gone out in the knockout rounds after being ahead in a match. So history repeating itself for Japan. Hopefully this will be a learning curve for them, because they have progressed over the years. And yes, they are missing, the likes of Honda, who they've had in the past, Kagawa. They are missing a star, but they have got a larger group of talent to work with. It's just, as we said, finding that cutting edge going forward.
Three of their key players are missing. Endo injured. You had Minamino injured, and the Brian winger, whose name slips me right now.
Matoma.
Yeah, Matoma injured as well. So Matoma has that bit of magic, and Minamino has a bit of something about him as well. They could have been the difference, but what someone said to me, everyone has injuries. So
indeed,
it's facts. You got to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, Brazil-Norway, what's your thoughts? Going to be a big game. Some interesting battles. Haaland versus our friend Gabriel. We've got Odegaard in midfield for Norway, pulling the strings. Where do you see that battle going?
Just.
Yeah. I'm going to say Brazil just, because they've got enough in attack to cause them problems, Norway problems. Even though I just said their midfield could get overrun. So, but yeah.
Well, we're also hoping that he sees it himself and makes a change. Like Edison or Fabinho to come in for Casemiro. Let Casemiro finish off the game.
Don't know, man. Ancelotti really likes Casemiro. It's like one of his
starting.
He loves him.
We're wishing, and it's
he
not
knows
gonna
something
happen.
about him. He loves Casemiro.
100%. All right. We'll move on to the next game. Big match. Mexico beating Ecuador 2-0. 2 goals in the first half for Mexico. Blitzing teams in the first half of games most of the time. There was a massive delay before kickoff, a thunderstorm. And ironically, we'll talk about that later on as they're around the 16th match has also got the threat of thunderstorms. But Mexico, home nation, won all their games so far, haven't conceded a goal in the tournament yet.
No.
No, I don't think they have. I don't.
Never.
Yeah,
Never
Yeah,
conceded
5 wins, 5 clean sheets. They look good, and they're going to be playing at the Azteca again. 4 clean sheets. Yes, 4 clean sheets. Yeah, 4 wins, 4 clean sheets. So yeah, they'll be playing at the Azteca again against England. So
they just
England,
boxed Ecuador off the park.
well, they did. They did.
Well, in fact, before we get to that, we had the big moment in the game. Another red card for someone covering their mouth.
Bro, he must have said something egregious because
No,
he
you
covered
know,
his mouth
and you
up.
know what?
I just don't
No,
get
he
it.
must have. I tell
He
you.
did- no.
Go on.
Because he covered his mouth on purpose. He
Yes.
covered his mouth to say something to him. And
Not even that. The guy didn't respond originally. So initially, you know how some people might be a little rat and be like, he's covered his mouth, I'm just going to rat him out. He waited till he heard what Henkapié said. Then he was like, nah, ref, this guy is on smoke.
Do you know what's mad though, bro? He was getting headbutted almost. And
Yeah,
he didn't go to the referee and headbutt. He's like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Guy trying to headbutt me. I say nothing. You cover your mouth. Okay. Obviously, like you said, he might have said something. He obviously said something that was egregious, but it's stupid. I know he's
Very.
probably sitting there
The
thinking
game
it's
was done
2-0.
as well.
What have I got to lose? But it's just dumb. It's just
he
dumb.
said,
If
he
it's
lost
what have
his
you got to
head
lose,
first.
then you should have said it without covering your mouth, innit?
Yeah.
If you're a bad man.
But Quinos was, I'm not sure if it's his name,
Being
Quinos,
honest.
who was top goal
Quinones.
scorer in the Saudi League. Listen, he's making a name for himself in this
Bro,
World
he's
Cup.
been a
and
problem on that left-hand side, man, I'll tell
Yeah.
you.
Yes, man.
Yeah,
He is.
if he might get a move, but he's probably earning a lot of money in Saudi anyway, so he might be interested in a move. And Jimenez to score again, it's good because you think he went. This is his 4th World Cup or 3rd World Cup, and he hadn't scored a goal until this World Cup. So it's good to see him getting
And this is
goals in
3rd
this
goal
cup.
now, innit, in the tournament?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, good for Raul Jimenez, especially after all he's went through with the fracture skull and everything. Massive comeback in his career. So good for him. Good for Mexico. They move on
Ecuador not
and
good.
they'll play England, who beat DR Congo 2-1. DR Congo causing problems, making it very
bro.
difficult for England. Absolutely stunning. Well, I say stunning. It was a great strike
Can't
from
beat him at their post.
Simpenga, but honestly, we have to say the goalkeeping suspect.
The defending.
Well, there's
The
a lot of
goalkeeper-
blame. People gonna say I'm defending Jen Spence, but
No, judgment's not at fault.
You're right to. You're right to defend him.
He wasn't.
Judgment's
He
not
wasn't
at
at
fault.
fault.
He's not
Yeah,
at
it
fault.
wasn't a fault. You're right to defend him.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Centre backs were a fault.
Bro,
sure.
and I mean, yeah, anyway, I can't.
Trying to put their legs in the same trousers. What's that about, bruv?
There's got to be better communication than that.
Yeah,
Because
for
there's
sure.
no way the winger should be by himself like that. Or the striker should be, who's out wide, be alone. Nobody's near him. Spence has to come across he has to come across the other player. Otherwise, he's alone by himself, and then they'll be blaming him.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then Menaweke would have to drop back to cover Spence.
Yeah.
There's this communication's been poor
Pickford's
all over.
overrated, bruv.
And Pickford should not get beaten at his near post like that either.
Overrated.
No, definitely not.
This is a bit poor.
Wasn't even from a tight angle either. The strike, so
No.
it should have been something he should have covered. But England ended up turning it around. Harry Kane, 2 goals. One moment, Mpassi, the goalkeeper of he was going to have one of those days and England just weren't going to score. But unfortunately, the goal that he does concede, he actually should have saved from Kane, the header. He got a hand to it and it just wasn't strong enough. And of all the shots that he had saved, that was probably one of the easiest. But yeah, Kane finished the job off with a brilliant, typical Harry Kane strike into the roof of the net. The keeper didn't even move. England go through, but a lot of, I would say, criticism for their performance.
I said it
Would
last
you
pod.
go
I
on?
said it last pod. England are not going to batter teams and go through like these fans think. Right? England are going to go through, and it's going to be a bit of a struggle, but they're going to get through on an individual quality, and that's all you need sometimes. Yes, you want to see teams play well, but just win. Just win and deal with it afterwards. And again, they came up against another country where players play in the same country as them, so they have a grudge kind of thing. Like, I ain't letting you get the better of me.
Yeah.
And the physicality of a lot of the Congolese players, it wasn't a case where it's like, we're scared of you, how fast you are, how good you are. It's now a case of, can you beat us technically and tactically? And England struggled technically and tactically. They didn't have anyone in the spaces. So we've all said it. There was players that they left at home. The Palmers, the Trents and Fodens, one of them should have been in that squad. One of them. Just for games like this where you can throw them on later on. I know Eze's there, but Eze's not really a little in between. Like, he
He
shoots
doesn't
from
play in the
outside the
pocket.
box.
He doesn't play in the pocket
Yeah, he
like that.
doesn't really do that. So
He's more of a
or
ghoster.
even, what's his name? Morgan Gibbs-White, who had a fantastic end to the season.
Mm-hmm.
If you go with force and pace and strength, then this is what you're going to get, I reckon.
Yeah, they're going to try and wear teams down, and it's going to be difficult. As I said, it's going to be interesting when they have to play against Mexico, who are very technical, and they're going to cause. Quinones is going to cause problems on that left hand side.
Don't forget
Let
altitude.
me tell you, they need
Altitude
to
is a
get
big
through.
issue.
They're going to need to get through that first 20 minutes because Mexico typically swarm teams in those first 20 minutes of the game because they know that it's a massive adjustment to deal with that altitude, 7,000 meters above or 7,000 feet above sea level. So it won't be easy. And yeah, they'll need to survive those first 20 minutes at least for them to have any chance of getting through in this match. And I think, people have said Mexico are quite average, but they haven't performed like an average team in the tournament so far. They've, they've won all their games. They haven't conceded a goal yet. And as much as we don't think they have a superstar in their team, they're a unit and they work as a team. And sometimes those are the teams that cause you the most problems, as we saw in the game against DR Congo and against Ghana. So we will see.
Yeah. They've won their last 6 matches in a row. So it will be tough. I think they've lost one game at that stadium in like years. I can't remember the exact number, but it's years.
I think when you look at the teams they've played, it's not necessarily been that level of quality.
True.
But the altitude might be a leveler, and the fact that they play as a team and they are got winning runners with the way that some players in England don't look fit, it's going to be very interesting. And the fact that they've been uncomfortable with teams running against them, then if that happens with if you got like Perisic being lost in the box and he's 37, how are you going to deal with Quinones? I don't know, man. Someone that's willing to run in behind and cause problems. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Looking forward to it.
Money's on England now. I just have a sneaky feeling England might do it though. Don't know why. I got a sneaky feeling they might do it.
Yeah, I think they have to win that game in normal time. I don't think they can survive extra time.
Yeah.
So
I say I don't know why.
They're going to win. It has to be in 90 minutes.
Yeah. You're right.
For sure.
And
All
congratulations to Kane. He became England's all-time World Cup top goal scorer, didn't he? Passing Lineker's
record
with 11 goals. And Bellingham, the youngest England player since 1966 to score and assist in the World Cup match.
Yeah, I think that's 13 goals for Kane now in the World Cup. He actually scored more World Cup goals than Pelé, which is no easy feat. But obviously, a lot more games in this new era of the World Cup. So different, it's different to how it was back in the day. But fair play, man. 13 goals. He's got more than Ronaldo, which I'm sure Ronaldo will be well chuffed about. But it is what it is. on to the next round for England and Mexico. So we'll see. Big game on Sunday, which just to go back to, they tried to change the kickoff time, which would have suited a lot of people back in England, but the kickoff time remains at 1 a.m. UK time. It was due to be moved because there was an impending thunderstorm, but that would have been the first time they've ever moved a World Cup fixture for weather conditions, I believe. So in the end, I think because of all the build-up and the preparation that England and Mexico have had, FIFA have decided to keep the original kickoff time. So yeah, a late night for many. Going to be some hangovers in the morning on Mondays and maybe a few sickies. But yeah, we will see. On to Belgium, who played Senegal, James's dark horses for the tournament, and won 3-2 with a last-minute penalty. 125 minutes into the game. That went to a 7-minute VAR review. Tielemans scored it, and he also won the pen, and won being in inverted commas, because in your opinion, gents, was this a pen?
No. Nope. And a lot of people disagree, and a lot of people say, so what? But for me, it's a deliberate act to deceive from Tielemans. He sees that he's already striking for the ball, and he's like, you know what, I can get my foot in there. I can get my foot in there, and if he kicks me, then it's either one way or the other. He's not actually trying to control the ball. He's not trying to score. He just sees he's going to try and kick the ball, and he puts his foot there to get kicked, and they give a penalty. And I don't think that's a penalty in my idea. I think they've even changed the rules. Someone was saying that when a player's in his motion and someone takes his space, it's not a foul. And that's exactly what happened. He was in his motion and he took the space. So I think
Is that an official rule change or common sense?
They said it. They said it on the actual after the game when I was listening to it. They said it on. Now they have all these specialists that come in now. It might have been Christina Uncle, who's always on.
I thought she said it was a pen.
Okay, might not have been her then. It might have been another one. I watched a whole lot of different stuff, you know what I'm like. But someone said that. But obviously some people will say, forget that. His foot was there. He's kicked the back of his heel. It's a penalty. That's what most people will say.
Yeah.
But nah, I don't think it's a pen.
I mean, to not give a pen, it'd be on. I don't think we'd ever seen a situation like that. And not in this world. Well, actually, no, because in the England game, they didn't give a pen, give simulation. But that's from the referee's point of view. But yeah, I mean, I think it was, when I looked at it, because I was watching it without sound, it did seem a bit harsh. But when you look back on it, I think they're always going to give that as a penalty, especially the way they give him fouls in his World Cup. It's gamesmanship by Tielemans.
Was it the Champions League where one happened and they didn't give a penalty this season? Who was? I'll see if I can remember the team, but there was one similar to it, and someone struck and actually gave the free kick against the player. Huh?
I mean, no, I can hear it, but I think where Tielemans has got there, and then he's kind of nicked the ball away, and then the defender's gone into the back of him. I doubt very much. As soon as they call that back to the screen, they're going to give a penalty. The ref might not give it on the field.
They took a long time to look at it, though. That's the one thing I would say. I mean, obviously, you've got a referee by the rules, but do you have to take the moment into consideration at that point of the game where that is such a 50-50 call? Do you just say, you know what? I'm not giving it because it's not stonewall enough to make a decider, to be a deciding factor in this game. If Tielemans is not genuinely going to strike the ball, he hasn't interfered with the situation. If Tielemans is just put his leg there because he knows the defender's coming, and yes, it's clever, does the referee have to think, well, if he's not actually gone to strike the ball, if has Kamara prevented him from getting a strike on goal? He hasn't really. So I don't know. It's a tough one. I think it is easy to say it's a pen because there's contact. But looking at the moment, that late in the game, if you're given a penalty, it has to be stonewall for me.
Yeah, I don't think common sense or anything else is not really common, and it's not really something that they factor in when they make these decisions. I think that
Mm.
because if you're right, if you're going to apply common sense, you're going to say what advantage is Tielemans going to actually get when he touches the ball? Is he going to get any advantage?
He's going that way.
He's
going
going to
away
go
from goal.
if the player doesn't touch it and he gets touched, he's going out for a corner, innit? A goal kick. He's going out for a goal kick.
100%.
But Senegal would. I mean, we'll talk about the penalty, but they were 2-0 up.
Yep.
With 4 minutes to go, or 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, I messed up, bro.
Question the coach, right? Some
Yeah,
of the
I messed up.
substitutions he made.
Yep.
Yeah. But do you know what it is as well? There was a point in the game where Senegal were 2-0 up and they had a chance to make it 3-0 and they slowed the game right down and decided to go backwards instead of go forwards. And when you kill the game at 3-0, it doesn't matter what happens at that point. It's 3-0. It's unlikely they're going to pull it back at that point. You break hearts. You've broken their spirit at 3-0 down with 15 minutes to go? Their spirit's broken. They're already down. They're arguing with each other. But then when they make it 2-1, they're now in the ascendancy. They got a bit of they're gonna think we can get something. We're gonna get another chance within the next couple of minutes. And it was naive by Senegal. So naive. And we're talking about a Belgian team that are not great.
No. I mean, they subbed De Bruyne at the point when he got subbed. It was probably looking bleak for them at that point. For Belgium, they were already 2-0 down when he came off. So probably thinking this is his last World Cup game, and now he's gone through to the next round because of really Senegal's lack of game management. Really, you have to say.
I think he got too overconfident because I think, like you said, he took off who they'll consider the biggest threats, Doku and De Bruyne, 56 minutes. Then Van Aken, who's usually does well in midfield, took him off 63 minutes. So what does he do? He takes off Pape Gueye, who played really well. You saw his disappointment as he came off the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what was worse, because I like Kamara. Kamara started most other games. So bringing him on isn't a big issue. But Diarra was playing really well. I did not understand the Diarra substitution on the 73rd minute. Because I think every change he made, apart from in extra time, made him younger. It made him more inexperienced. And it's almost like game's done. Let's rest these guys' legs. We're moving on. You can't do that. And he messed up royally for me. He messed up. And I don't know if he'll continue, because obviously there was loads of other stuff going on, non-payments, coaching staff, not being given rights. An analyst came in after the second game. People not getting paid.
They haven't been able
kinds
to
of stuff.
train. They haven't had access to their training facilities.
They didn't pay for the stadium and stuff like that. They didn't pay for the training. So it's been a shambles for them, and it's kind of disgraceful. What I didn't like, the commentary on the game. When the penalty got given, it's almost like the commentators were blaming the Senegalese players. Oh, it's happened to Senegal again, and the trouble follows them.
Yeah, that's it.
Trouble follows them. What do you mean trouble follows them? It's a foul in the box. And some people say it's not a foul. Obviously, there was stupidity with Cease on the penalty area, doing the others. He got elbowed, but come on, bro. You don't need to stay on the floor like that. He's trying to do gamesmanship. I get it. But I didn't like the way they were going on with it's only the way Senegal doing this, Senegal do that.
It was
kind of disgusting listening to it.
Yeah, it's over-exaggerated, isn't it? Was unnecessary.
But he was never going to miss it. That penny was sick, bro.
Well, it dispatched top corner. The latest goal in the World Cup history, I think 125 minutes. So, yeah.
Lukaku didn't have the stones, bro. Lukaku knew. He knew. His record's not bad, but he knew I don't have the stones for this, bro. Like, Tielemans is one of those guys. In big moments, bro, he will step up, bro.
He took that pen like he didn't care. He did not care one bit.
Another question before we move on. Equal, like the first goal, was it not? Don't you think it was a foul? Like Tielemans blatantly pushed the centre back, so he couldn't actually head the ball. Like 2 hands in the back, and they didn't even look at it. There was no VAR check for the 2 hands in the back shove.
Bro, I've only seen those decisions go against Tottenham, bro. So I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a shame.
Well,
my dark horses are gone.
Yeah, they are. Senegal will be disappointed. They had a lot of a lot of issues to deal with, and unfortunately they'll be going home, and it will be interesting to see what happens for a managerial and administrative level, because there has been a lot of controversy on that side of things in terms of the organization. So yeah, a lot to sort out for them, and they've got too much talent for them to be wasting it with bad administrative management. So we will see. Well, Belgium will go on to face USA, who beat Bosnia 2-0. USA going on strong, convincing win. Balogun on a score sheet again, but unfortunately for him, he got sent off for a similar challenge to what Messi had done earlier in the tournament against Saudi Arabia.
But it looks worse.
Different. It's a bit different.
It does. It looks a lot worse. A lot
Yeah.
worse.
Because of the ankle.
So you think Balogun's is worse?
Balogun.
Balogun.
Sorry, I have to correct you, or I'll get in trouble, innit?
Yeah.
Balogun.
It looked a lot worse, but that's in slow mo. But because I think it's because of the way that the player's foot,
lands.
like, where his foot has landed, then his ankle kind of goes in under it, so it looks a lot worse, especially when you slow it down. But if that, I think he's just a bit unfortunate, really. Very. I don't know what he's supposed to put his foot. You could, yeah. But I mean, for them to call it back, is it intentional? Is it reckless? I don't know if it's reckless. It seems more like an accident than anything else. So
I think Messi's one was more reckless.
Yeah,
if I'm honest. I think Messi's one, because it was up the calf and it was actually chasing him down. I think that one was less accidental. I'm not saying he did it on purpose, but the action seemed less accidental and more reckless.
I think with Balogun,
less slow-mo.
Yeah, with Balogun, it looks like he could snap his ankle at that at the impact, and that's why I think he's got a red card. And I think America are going to miss him for the next
the
next game.
Big time, yeah.
If he was playing, I would have America as my favourites to beat Belgium, but without him, I think Belgium are going to beat them.
Time for Pepe to step up. He's had a big reputation for a while. Now it's time to actually cash in on that reputation, bro.
Yeah. Well, they'll need to swarm Belgium, because one thing we have noticed about them is that Belgium don't move the ball quickly. So if USA are gonna get through this game, they'll have to hit Belgium early and don't allow them back in the game. And we know what Belgium is capable of doing, as we've seen. How many times have we thought this team is going to go out, and yet they're still here. USA will need to be careful.
Leaning on.
Exactly, clean on to their life. But yeah, they'll go into that game hoping that, obviously, for the home nation, USA will feel that they're favourites going into it and will hope to get through. So we will see. That game takes place on Monday. On to probably what is the tie, or what will end up being the tie of round 16 so far. Spain and Portugal. Spain beat Austria 3-0. Pretty comprehensive victory. No one really expected Austria to go and do anything against Spain in that game. And that's how it went down. Ayafabal with 2 goals. Some people say he's not, in the David Villa or the Torres level, but the guy is just technically sound and he just gets goals. His goal record in the last 15 games is ridiculous. So what did you make of Spain's performance against Austria?
But they just bopped them. They just dispatched them, man. Austria weren't even in the game. It was a training match for Spain, man. It's like Yamal got man of the match, and he doesn't get I don't think he gets a goal or an assist.
Nah, he didn't.
Yeah, and he was whoever was on his side. He, for the first half, he just had the running them. When they had to double up on him, so Sabitz had to come back to help. Didn't help. Didn't work. Just had the running of him, man. And then it showed, like, with how much space that they had on the other side of the pitch, because Cucurella is playing as a winger, pretty much. They could double up on both sides. It's insane. I do think that Spain were robbed for the goal that got disallowed as well, though, because that, again, that's not a foul on the keeper. Never has that ever been a foul. Are you trying to tell me that if the keeper goes for the ball, that you just got to let him catch it now? You can't challenge for it. You can't challenge for a
Yeah,
header.
exactly.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, it didn't matter in the end because Austria didn't really. I don't think Una Simons had the save to make, and he
No.
broke the record for the most amount of clean sheets or the amount
And
of
that's
minutes without a
both
goal.
of your choice for Golden Glove as well.
Yeah, it's the minutes. And they've kept 10 clean sheets in the last 13 matches as well. So,
Jeez.
yeah, you looked at it. You're gone?
They haven't been tested though.
No,
Not in attack. They've not
Haven't.
been tested, but at all.
Cape Verde was
whatsoever.
their biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was Cape Verde, isn't it?
It was Cape Verde. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Cape Verde. Well, that was ironically Spain's first knockout win since they won the tournament in 2010, 15 years ago. So a long time, or almost 16 years ago now. So crazy to think that since they won the tournament, they hadn't won a knockout game since then. But they will move on to play their rivals, Portugal, who beat Croatia in a pretty enthralling second half, 2-1. A goal for Perisic, a brilliant, typical Perisic goal. So clinical when he hits the ball with that left foot. Ronaldo equalised with a pen, and then Ramos scored with a header in the 94th minute. Yeah,
Yes.
Brilliant header.
Yeah, brilliant header. Yeah,
brilliant header
The
from
maddest thing
Ramos.
about it was, Leao was having a really good game, and before it, he was stamping his foot on the floor like he was injured. And I was thinking, they've made all this subs, they can't do anything. And I think it was just for that reason that he crossed it. Because he hadn't been crossing like that through most of it. He's been beating his player quite easily throughout the whole game. But I think he had nothing left. And when you see the replay of the cross, you can see the strain in his face as he crosses it. It's almost like, I'm just going to do it. And then it's in perfect position. And then the header was just great. It was just really good header. And it makes you think, if they had someone who was ready to move in the penalty box earlier in the game and stay in the penalty box earlier in the game, could they have scored earlier? We'll never know. But he made a brave decision, subbing off Ronaldo towards the end of the game, because Ronaldo wasn't happy about it. I think we thought he was going off earlier than that, and he kept him on, and he took off Bruno. And then it was the right sub. I think it was the right sub, and it proved to be the case because they may have not scored that goal if Ronaldo was still playing centre forward.
No, and that's true. I mean, Ronaldo scored with that pen that he scored. It was his first ever World Cup knockout round goal. So he was finally off the mark. He actually had a great goal scored earlier, which was disallowed for offside. A brilliant control with dink over the keeper, but unfortunately for Ronaldo, it was offside. But Croatia, 103rd minute, disallowed goal. Guardiola tap in, but an offside call due to the slightest, well, to the naked eye, no touch.
Yeah.
To new technology used, which is normally reserved for cricket, called Snicko. I'm not officially named that, but Snicko was used to determine that the ball was grazed by a Croatian attacker.
No, for the first time though in the tournament, because Sweden got one with Isak got a touch and they scored. So I think it would have been more controversial if that was the first time they used it in the tournament in such an important moment. But I think because, all right, number one, it's a correct decision anyway. But the fact that it's already been used in the tournament, it kind of dilutes the whole, how could you do this at this stage of the tournament? They've used it and it's proved that it's worked. And it's factual. There was no what do you call it? No line
Deviation.
change until it goes over his head. When it goes over his head, there's no line change until it touches Vega's shoulder or back. So it proved that there was contact there somehow. However little it is, it's contact. And it was brought in for this very reason. So it seems harsh.
They were in an offside position at the time of the header anyway.
Yeah, I think we'd be arguing though, on another day, we'd be arguing, did he touch the ball or not? And that's
100%. Without that technology, he doesn't affect anything to do with the ball, but if it touches him, it touches him, whether it's a hair molecule, he's given it. So offside.
I'm interested to see if we're going to see it after the World Cup. If we're going to see it in Champions League or leagues, if they're going to try and bring that in.
I don't know if they're going to vote for Snicko, man. Like some of the
What?
offside.
We're
Yeah,
taking,
I mean,
I don't know. I think we're taking technology too far now.
too far.
Goal line was enough. Now we've gone into another realm. And obviously we've seen a lot of changes with the way they use VAR, but I do think we have to err on the side of caution when it comes to looking at Snicko to determine.
I don't know why
he
he went over to the screen though. If they
That's
had the
what-
Snicko, I don't know why he went over to the screen to look. Because they could have just said, "Listen, we've had the Snicko. You've got the what do you call it? The line's gone up. No go. Why did he have to go
We know
look
it's
at that?
purely a formality. If he's gone over to the screen, normally it's going to be overturned.
Or was it because he was trying to judge whether Vega intentionally touched the ball? Because then that would have changed it. If Vega had intentionally touched the ball, then the offside wouldn't have been given as offside. Then it would be given a goal. So maybe he had to rule on that specific aspect.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Portugal live to fight another day.
Yeah.
Portugal live to fight another day. Luka Modric, almost certainly his last game in the World Cup.
I was going to say, though, at times it was too easy for Croatia to play through that Portugal midfield. The one that we all raved about, was all saying about those midfielders. I don't know when they're going to come up their next game in Spain, right? Is it Spain?
Yeah. Charisma said the same thing as you, bruv. Charisma was cussing that midfield.
Bro.
He didn't hold back on that midfield.
Bro, I'm telling you, that's going to be very interesting. I know the Spain-Portugal game is usually a bit feisty, but Spain look a bit more mobile than Portugal.
But they got no wingers. Pino's injured, and so is what's his name, Williams.
But they've still got Yamal. They've still got Yamal on that side,
and Munoz has started training as well.
With I think with Buena and Cucurella on the other side, that is a problem. Whoever they're playing up against, because that means there's a lot of running back for what it's gonna be.
It'd be Neto we know that.
Yeah,
that Rafael Leao is unlikely to be chucking runners. I mean, we've called it probably the biggest heavyweight clash of that round so far. A big rivalry, and it will be interesting to see which team prevails. So I'll be looking forward to it. I'm sure many other people will be looking forward to that game on Monday as well. All right, on to Australia, Egypt. Egypt prevailing on pens for a 4-2 win in the penalty shootout. Two headed goals were scored in the game. One from Ashore and the own goal from O'Neill. Hold on, what? No, sorry. See, I messed this up again. Right, let me start again. On to Australia, Egypt. Egypt prevailing 4-2 on pens after a 1-1 draw after extra time. A goal for Egypt by Shaw, and Hani with an own goal gave Australia a lifeline to equalise. Not a fantastic game to watch. Own goal was pretty uncanny, to say the least. Bev?
Sleepy, bro.
Uncanny. Listen, someone check his bank account. Because listen, that he might have some gambling. Sorry, nope, let me not say that.
Don't do that.
I'm telling you, if you're his centre back partner, you are cussing when you see that header. Because why would you header the ball that way? That? You are trying to score against your team. You are enemy of progress, sir. That is man. That was
almost
bad.
as though he forgot which end he was supposed to be defending.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't think there's anything more to talk about the game, and until you get to the penalties. Yeah. And Australia's penalties were awful. Nobody looked like they wanted to.
Real bad.
Why is Suter taking it? I said, I'll give Lucas Harrington a blight. He's 18. He should not be taking full penalty. He shouldn't be. When you're already down. Suter's penalty was horrific. Absolutely horrific. You're a big centre-back, and let's be honest, no disrespect, Suter, in case you come on the pod in future. You're not the most technical to hit it top bins. Just lace that penalty, bro. Just lace it, and then we have it. Because all of Egypt's penalties were really, really good. And the actual thing, they changed the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
They changed the goalkeeper just beforehand, and he didn't
And
get
he
to
never
us. He
got
didn't get
near
anywhere
one.
near any.
He never got anywhere
Yeah.
near any of them.
Like Peach was having a good game. Give him. This is his moment. You've made the big change. Like you've dropped the captain from the World Cup and made number 2 the goalkeeper. So then give him his moment. He's had a good game in 120 minutes. Let him take the penalty. Oh, he must be really bad. That penalty saved it for them to take him out. He must be really bad.
Nah, I mean, we've
Because
seen it before.
what's his name?
We've seen
Only saved
Holland
one
do
all
it.
season.
Well,
Yeah.
we've seen Holland do it. We've seen Holland do it in the past, where once it's worked and the other time it didn't work. But unfortunately for Australia, they are out.
Bro,
Egypt
the best
with
thing
their
about it
first
as
World
well.
Cup.
Panenka. Don't forget my Panenka from Salah.
What, your boy Salah?
Yeah, bro.
Is he still your boy?
It's still my boy. He's a Liverpool legend. He'll still be my boy, bro.
Technically, he can stay. He doesn't need to leave now, innit? He can stay now. Like the manager's gone.
It's July now. He's gone. His contract's done. He'll have to come back on reduced wages.
Fair enough. Well, Egypt will go on to face Lionel Messi and Argentina after they battled to win an enthralling match against Cape Verde or Cape Verde. 3-2 in an epic battle where it was literally David versus Goliath, and Cape Verde, to their credit, were amazing in this game, coming back from a goal down twice. 2 really, really good goals. 1 amazing goal in extra time from Lopez Cabral, and an own goal of a Romero header ended up clinching it for Argentina. But
did they give us an own goal? A handball?
Yeah, he was given an own goal.
They gave us an own goal. Oh man.
Yeah, Romero's header wasn't on target, so the deflection off the defender was what took it in the end. So we can talk about Argentina in a minute, but we have to give a round of applause to Cape Verde. Amazing. They've brought so much to this tournament, and anyone that thought that extending the tournament to 48 games was a bad idea, this is a prime example of how it gives the smaller nations a chance to shine in front of millions. And whatever country you were rooting for, it was just an amazing performance, and you have to give them so much credit. What did you guys make of the game?
I didn't expect it to be as enthralling as that, man.
No.
Cape Verde, they gave as good as they got, and to take it to extra time, and not only take it to extra time, but go down in extra time and then pull one back, and a worldie. That is what they mean by a worldie.
Yes.
You score that on the world stage against a
Weaker
top
foot,
goalie.
bro. Weaker foot.
Yo, take a bow. And he went into the crowd like that. That was scenes, man. That was emotional. You just think if you could hold on just for a bit longer, then like maybe you get to penalties and someone can get to be a hero. But fair play to Cape Verde. They played their part in the game, and they weren't passengers. They weren't there to people expecting to be humiliated, and they didn't get humiliated. They did themselves proud, man. It's unfortunate that they lose to a goal that is pretty much handball, innit? Because I'm sure it comes off his arm, but yeah, man, fair play to them. They showed that like when you're willing to run and you're willing to fight for everything, then you may be able to get something out of the game.
Yeah, listen, really good performance. They will be remembered. And listen, African nations are coming up next year. There might be a dark horse in African nations. So this being in a tournament like this can give you so much more confidence. So even in terms of getting new players, getting players to join them that may be better or maybe just as good to increase their pool, credit to them, man. Credit to them. And the goalkeeper, he's got no club. I'm sure he's gonna have his inbox to be flooded, completely flooded. I know he's old, but
he's 40. But let me tell you, with social media following, you never know. Some team might capitalize on his newfound fame, because even in this game, obviously there were some unorthodox saves that he had made in the game to basically stop Argentina from scoring. But there was some times during extra time where he was so calm and composed. He took the pressure off his defenders. He in possession of the ball, he looked so comfortable. and he was just marshalling the defense amazingly in that game. And I was really, really impressed of how he led them. And yeah, you have to give Cape Verde so much credit for how well they played in the game. And Argentina, they did kind of feel for them, even though they obviously knew they wanted to win. They were really impressed with how much of a struggle it was to defeat them. And Lionel Messi scoring in his 8th successive World Cup match. I think it's a record-extending record now of 8 matches. Argentina still heavily reliant on him, and no one else is really coming to the party. If you think about it, they've relied on 2 defenders to score their other goals in that game. What do you think of, or what do you make of Argentina in this tournament so far? And do you think there'll be too much for Egypt?
Yeah, they've been good. But despite how that game was, they did look like the team that was going to win it throughout anyway. They're just probably just a bit too casual in that. But in general, you're correct in terms of they need something extra. They have looked for Messi a bit too much at times, but I don't know. It's weird because everyone looks up to him. They do that sometimes. They do all the running for him, so they're technically playing with 10 players at times. But it's the bonus that he gives you, like his first goal, bruv. The ball was great from Martinez, but the touch and finish, fantastic. Fantastic.
Insane.
39 years old, bruv. So the other guys need to do more. I think they will beat Egypt because this is the quality they've got. But if they want to win it, they need more from the other attackers.
For sure. All right. Well, on to the last fixtures of the round of 32, who make up the last fixtures of this round of 16. Colombia beating Ghana 1-0. My dark horses shining a light in the dark. Always playing late. I never ever see their games live. Always have to watch the 8-minute highlights the next morning. But they've won again. And again, look impressive. Arias with the goal. A Luis Suarez assist after he came on as a sub quite early on due to injury.
Yeah, Cordoba.
Ghana going out. Again, too defensively, not enough going forward. Very good defensively, very organized, as typical with Carlos Queiroz teams. But Colombia look impressive. They had chances to score in that game. And as we said before, they're just lacking that clinical striker. But what did you make of the performance? And do you think, I'll say it now, they're going to play Switzerland in the next round after Switzerland beat Algeria 2-0. Goals from Mbolo and Freuler. Manzambi again shining in that game. Who do you think will come through between Colombia and Switzerland?
Colombia. I think you're right in giving them the dark horses. The game itself, I actually fell asleep as soon as they scored. It was that late, and then
you didn't miss much.
Yeah, the highlights. When I woke up, I was wondering, I was like, "Oh wow, I must have seen the best of the game." But highlights showed that they were the better team, and as good as Switzerland have been, I just think Colombia will step it up another level.
I think it will be a close game. I mean, Switzerland have been okay when they've made changes, especially Manzambi starting this time. You see how much of a problem he is. I think Newcastle are leading the chase to sign him already, but he's been a revelation for them. They, Mbolo still hanging in there. He was once a wonder kid. He never quite ended up to those heights, but he's still there, still getting goals, still causing problems. They're organized, so Colombia won't find it easy, and it will be, I think it will be an interesting matchup. I do see Colombia going through. I think the conditions will favor them, but yeah, we will see if they have enough firepower to break the Switzerland defense down, because I think that's the one thing Switzerland do have is a good defense.
Yeah, no, I think Colombia are going to have too much for Switzerland, to be honest with you. I know we talk about their defense and stuff like that, but Colombia seems to be finding a way. And if they could just stay on side just a little bit, then they could actually be putting teams to bed. And I think that they've got enough with Luis Diaz up front to make a difference as well.
Cool. Right. Well, that's it. All 16 round of 32 games done. Germany and Netherlands, two of Europe's biggest powers, out on pens. Paraguay and Morocco doing their thing, beating two giants. Belgium, the most controversial comeback so far in this tournament. Kane surpassed his Pelé with with his goal tally in World Cup tournaments. Egypt's Panenka from Salah, still showing he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. Argentina being taken to extra time by Cape Verde. Sidney Lopez Cabral, one of the goals of the tournament so far, and probably the best celebration so far, into the crowd and without getting a yellow card. Well done, referee. Colombia, quiet, efficient, dangerous. Round of 16 starts tonight. Gents, it's been a pleasure. Wherever you are, please don't forget to subscribe. Please like, follow the Armchair Pundits on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We've also got audio out on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon Music as well. So please, please, please follow us and listen wherever you can. Thanks for joining. Till the next time,
Peace out.
stay safe
Peace.
and enjoy.